Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev, we were talking basketball before we came on. Welcome to Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. We were talking basketball, and I came across a basketball story that I wanted to remember to bring up to you, so I'm going to do it right off the top here. Luka got fined after he was mocking the ref. Well, he was indicating the refs taking money or something like that after a shitty call. So they found
they gave him a tech first.
Right. And then the $50,000 fine. I guess you find that out like the day after or whatever for the, quote, unprofessional gesture. So where does the $50,000 go? I always wondered. So the union, well, do you know the answer, first of all?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. So it's the NBPA, right? National Basketball Players Association. At some point, founded some initiative, like a philanthropic initiative, where the fine money goes to charities, which I thought was the coolest thing.
But
I don't know if
isn't it backed 1-to-1?
It is. It is actually, yes.
So it's a $50,000. The player pays it, and then the league matches it.
Right. But I never knew. I didn't know if it just went into like a general NBA fund or something, or any of the organizations, professional sports organizations. But it actually, now this is for the NBA. I don't know about if the NFL is charitable as well, but they also mentioned in this article I saw that
that would also make their fine 100% completely tax deductible
because it's a donation. You always forgot who I do the show with. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Wow, could you imagine a players' union putting that together? Fuck.
But I realized.
Thank God.
Thank God. I thought of that when I was taking a piss the other day, and my stream got a little wild because I started laughing. But you can appeal a fine through the course of the year, and they're very often chopped down to like a quarter of what the league initially.
Yeah, because the league sees what it has to fucking pony up. Fuck that.
Yeah. Or they get to watch the review and be like, yeah, that was kind of a bullshit call now that you mention it. Not saying this one was. I don't know what happened.
At least they're on the hook, though. It's not like Congress where you can, like, just no to everybody getting paid except you. Yeah, the government shut down. Nobody gets paid. That's just the way it is except me.
Except, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I want to be on that kind of a fucking circuit.
I have heard, though, where congressmen and women said they were going to just take like $1 during the, I guess by contract law, whatever, they have to be paid.
That's easy to say when you're fucking, after capital gains, you're clearing 3.7 in assets on just a couple of funds that you've just so happen to be on the appropriation.
Right. And they get through.
Gee, that's not insider, is it? I had no idea they were getting that contract.
It's weird to me that there's no, like, when I worked on Wall Street, I used to have any of my personal trades I had to put through the compliance department, who would research the transaction and see if we had any dealings, because obviously to shield themselves and me from an accusation of insider trading. And then it would come back and say, okay, you can execute the trade. How is that not happening in Congress when, forget about having business dealings, they could be the ultimate yay or nay?
So let me go ahead. Let me. Can I top that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so now I'm the president of the United States, and the Constitution says that Congress is the ability for the act of war, not the president of the United States. Yet Congress hasn't given the okay for us to be attacking and at war with Iran yet. So if you can fundamentally take that big of a move and everything underneath is bullshit, isn't everything bullshit? There are no rules. I'm thinking about coming up with a crypto coin tomorrow.
BitKev.
On the back, it just says, "Thank God for this coin."
It's a big round baboon testicle. Hey, Kev, you did the road this month like Diesel did the road
I did.
for the first 3 weeks.
And man, I paid for it.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Now, you told everybody last week you were still away last week when the show aired. So you were in Detroit. You were setting your aunt up in her new assisted living community, but then you did a shot after that.
Yeah, I had to go to Chicago and do Autorama.
Yes, and you're not done with Autorama, are you?
I have Autorama. The next show that they hear, I'll actually have just left Cincinnati and on my way home from Autorama.
Well, listen, at least you had an easy flight back.
Oh, my God.
After this long haul.
I didn't know what happened, but all I know is it started Friday when I was leaving Detroit. And I've got a 4:13 flight time. So but you never know when you return a car, like how long the process is going to be. And that's all going to be because Detroit's about 20 minutes, a good 20 minutes, at least it seems that long, in a rental car bus from the drop-off to the terminal.
God.
So you got to put that in if they're running buses. But
why wouldn't they?
Because with the price of fuel and everything else, what did they start doing? Instead of running 8 buses, they run 6. And all of a sudden, you got a 20-minute gap where you're standing freezing in the fucking parking lot in it looks like a 1970 European bus stop, fucking, overage coverage, and it was snowing and shit. And it's like, and I kind of did the nervous traveler thing because I just wanted to get to Chicago because I knew once I got to Chicago and got through my workday, I was going to be fucking home. I haven't seen
that night, right? Just
right, that night, Saturday night. But basically in my house, probably at 12:30. So.
But home at 12:30.
Home. Yeah, but in Daytona at 11:53. So I just would have had to drive down. I just get my shit and drive up the beach. So it starts off Friday, and Michigan has tornadoes. It's so foggy that when you sit in the terminal and look out the glass window, you can't see the tail fin of your plane. And I'm like, we're not going anywhere in this fucking soup.
You're not.
Because there's a lot of things you can do with radar. Taxiing. Wheels on the ground, driving a fucking plane.
No help.
No. So I'm like, oh God. So I get on. I've got like my joyful, like there's like this thing called frog weather, and you look up whatever town you're in, and if it's a nice day, the frog might be out catching some sun. He might be out chasing it's got a little graphic of this little frog. It's just one of those little things where frog. What's the frog weather, you know? And living down here, it's mostly he's got sunglasses on, you know, fucking around. But I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, it's a good advertisement for frog weather. Don't think
Yeah,
I'm not putting it on my phone tonight.
I'm trying to think of where my story was.
Well, we were looking at it. We couldn't see the tail from the plane, and
so I looked at I've got also. This is where I was going to go. I have frog weather, then I have the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel, you can pull up radar, and you can like look at and see what the fuck is out there. There is this storm that has some small. So it goes green, yellow, orange, red for severity, and then purple. And this thing has, as it goes by, shows a slash of purple on the top northern segment of this thing. So I'm thinking, okay, if we do get out, the only way we can't fly through it, we can't fly under it, so we're going to have to fly over the top of this thing north. And that's where that fucking thing is. So and everything else in there is orange and yellow and red. So I look and there's a gap between it where it splits and it's just green. And it kind of fits into the pocket at like 850. So we'd probably have to be in the air by 820 to make that gap. Mm. I mean, for like clockwork, that's when we left.
Wow.
And if anybody, it's like I don't know, that may be a 45, 50-minute flight. Fucking, it was like 1:37 because we had to go that far up to come back down. At that point, though, I was just like, oh, I'm going to get fucked. I'm going to miss this payday. That's one of the fucking, not that fucking it's that big of a deal, but it's still kind of why, it gives you some semblance of why you're doing this. Why am I still out here again? Oh, okay, fuck that. Yeah, that's still money. So got down around 9 Chicago time, which is 10 Detroit time. So that was and we sat out on the tarmac at one point for I think 2:15. I don't know what the FAA rules are, but they pulled us back in, pushed us in and gave us the first 10 minutes was you can stay on or get off. If we get the quick notice, we're going to take off. So you're going to need to stay close to the fucking gate. If you're getting off, take all your shit with you. I said, fuck, I'm just sitting here. And there was a lady next to me. Her nephew was playing a basketball game in Chicago. And once it got to the point where it was that late, she couldn't have got off the plane and made his game. So she just said, fuck it. And she was going to go to Charlotte. So I just nobody next to me. So I just fucking sat there. And I mean, so with that, we got that one done. I said, okay, great. Go to Autorama. Great showing, great turnout for Chicago. I haven't been there in a while. And it's smooth. I get through everybody, and they give me like a 10, 15-minute early departure. I was supposed to sign till 5:15 but I was through my numbers in like an hour and a half. They were just like, dude, you're good. You can go now. So boom, made that. So the first leg I'm gonna go home, and I think it gets pushed back a half hour, and that's because the night before there was a hailstorm in Atlanta that took I want to think 100 of Delta's planes took some kind of hail damage.
Oh.
And they had to pull, like, some of them they had to actually pull off the fucking, like, the work line. So now you know, like, so when we took off from Atlanta, or from Chicago, like, it was kind of cool as we were sitting there. I mean, Sharpton got on, but like, it was basically everybody that was going to Atlanta that was at Jesse Jackson's funeral was getting on this plane. So it was kind of cool.
I was going to say, I said you traveled like Diesel this month, but Diesel didn't ride with Al.
No. It was so funny because everybody kind of popped and shook hands, and people took. I waited till he got on the plane and shit. I wasn't going to mark out, but then he got up to go to the restroom. So when he did, when he came back, I said, "Excuse me, Reverend Sharpton." I said, "I don't mean to sound like a mark." I said, "But when we land," I said, "but it'd be cool to grab a selfie." He said, "Absolutely, big man, ain't a problem." So I said, "Cool." So I took a picture with him. I talked to him a little bit. I met John Lewis years ago, and
Oh, wow.
I met him. I was taking a red eye back from a WrestleMania. Let me think. Yeah, it was from a West Coast WrestleMania, and I caught up with him, and he was on the little Ziggity, the in between terminal train.
Mm-hmm.
At 6 a.m, he was on that with a big bodyguard. It was just him, like, and I was at one end of the thing, and I went down and I shook his hand, talked to him. We got off. I talked to him. And I've just never, I never have like my phone with me. Like when I'm traveling, it's in a bag or something. So, and then as he walked away, I'm thinking, fuck, man, he walked across the bridge. I'm like, it's like, oh, like that's like fucking royalty. And why didn't I get a shot with him?
Yeah. You should have at least asked if he wanted to be in a segment that night backstage with Kofi, maybe, and Adam Pearce. I think that would have been a good dynamic. If it was a Raw night.
That really didn't cross my mind.
Okay, so leaving Chicago. So you get on the plane, everything's fine.
And now because things are so great and they're grand, and we have the Reverend Al up in first. I guess they just decided to make sure that the fucking Wi-Fi didn't work. Well, the Wi-Fi didn't work because everybody that was trying to figure out what was going on with their flight was being kiboshed until we actually landed and picked up the Wi-Fi from the ground. Like mine picked up a 5G. As we're taxiing in, I get close enough, and all of a sudden I look, and now my app says flight. Let's see. Oh yeah, not delayed, canceled. It says flight canceled, and I'm like, oh fuck me. So I'm thinking, old me would have immediately just pressed and got on the diamond line. So I said, let me just try this. So I basically, I take 3 steps. I look at that board. I see where it's supposed to go out. It's still canceled. I turn. I take 2 steps back to the attendee that's at the guy that's at the desk of the gate we landed in. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I know he could probably just see it on my face, because there were people everywhere. So it was just like it was that chaotic, basically. And the rumor was that Hegsmith actually had missed an armament bombardment, and it had hit the Atlanta airport, but that
it hit Atlanta instead of Tehran.
But
he was only off by 7,000 miles.
That came up as being an absolute, just somebody gaslighting us. So
they blew up their own airport in Tehran.
Exactly. So I look at the guy. He says, "Man," he goes, "best I can do," and he presses the thing to give me the boarding pass, and it's Atlanta to Orlando. I'm in 21D. It's Coach Comfort. It's Coach Comfort, but that I realized the only difference between Coach and Coach Comfort is the stitching on the seats.
Are you kidding?
I mean, I looked. There's
you didn't get more leg room or anything?
How would I know? I mean, it was not. It wasn't even tolerable.
Yeah, more leg room for you would be. Wouldn't.
I mean,
register probably.
I first class. My legs, my knees are against the seat in front of me.
Did you throw your feet over the seat in front of you? Maybe dangle your feet down in front of
I couldn't because the lady sitting in front of me was too determined. She was going to recline. They just the physics of the immovable force against the 58-year-old fucking power. Like, no, you don't win.
Was she really pumping?
Oh, to the point. I think she was like bewildered. Like if you could just see her elbow out trying to press the button, like just she was bewildered.
And what, your legs are up against it, right? So it's
but it's not like I just have my knees are against.
Right.
I've had it long enough where you make sure that there's like those two seams in the back with that thing. Like put them right there, and that's like you're not going to get the worst thing you can do is get caught off guard and get that piece of steel on that seat come back in your knee. Somebody jamming that shit back at you. I saw Vader knock a dude almost unconscious as a guy backed the seat into him, and fucking Vader just with the paw of his hand, like an offensive lineman, man. He just fucking hit that thing, and that thing snapped. That whole seat snapped, and fucking that guy basically hit his head on his knees. I thought, fucking, we're going to jail.
So you flew. You flew with your.
So I flew.
Knees.
And we didn't take off till 12:30. No,
How
12
much time on the
because
tarmac?
Another hour. Which I mean, as I said, like when I got on the plane, I said I can do this for like 59 to 105 minutes. So I'm thinking it's got to be real close to Daytona Beach, because it's not. I mean, it's 60. I'm 60 miles from Orlando. Yeah. So I mean, and that's more east-west. So I'm thinking flying down, man, this has got to be pretty damn spot on. It's just the 90 minutes from fucking Orlando to my house.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What time did you get home?
A little after 4, but I did lose an hour.
That's right. We set everything ahead.
So
you got in at 5.
I get in with a guy that doesn't speak a whole lot of English, and I'm trying to just be cordial. And I said, this thing's about, so as we take off, it's 1:38 when we take off in the Uber. And I said, this thing's about to become a time machine, huh? And I said, no, actually, we'd have to be going the other way for that to work. And he says, what? I said, the time changes. He says, not until 3. And I'm like, okay. I won't have anything to say to you for 22 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, and what a difference.
Funny, jump there at 2 o'clock. Either that or we just we're going really slow on the way home, which we were. There's nothing like looking at the guy's fucking speedometer, and he's going 64 and a 70 in shitbox fucking Kia sedans back when they had those things, the Sonatas or whatever the hell they were.
At least you didn't have change on the seat.
No, I didn't. This guy had you know what? When you get an Uber and you're going a 90-minute drive, I don't care if it's an extra $50. It's just like, what what the fuck ever. I just want something nice. You know, like you could get my vote if it just had like somebody's got to play tunes too. Like if they're anti, because I'll ask them like as soon as I get their information, if you can send them a message, I'll send them a message. I said it's cool if we listen to music, right? Like you're not some fucking whack job.
Yeah, you can select that stuff now if you want. Like you could say quiet ride where the person doesn't talk or anything. Kev, I'm hearing all this travel stuff, and I'm wondering, like, did you have any Mando with you? Because you can throw the wipes in your bag, and
no, when you travel like this, Mando is in your backpack,
right?
And
imagine.
You go right into the stall because I don't give a fuck how many times. If a man 66 years old urinates 6 times in a 4-hour period because he's trying to hydrate while he's navigating this air pressure system, if you get 1.5 drops on each of those 6, that's about
per trip.
That's about 15. If you had asparagus the night before, you got to be Mandoing that. You don't need to be sitting next to somebody and somebody think you're a gardener for a real. Like, what the fuck is like,
That was the most illustrative description I could have imagined when I started this ad. But yes, what Kevin's talking about is pit protection, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks. Yeah, asparagus taint also.
Yes.
Created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed, mistreated. So from this, we get Mando. Clinically proven to block odor all day, control odor up to 72 hours, and a lot of product options. You can see them right there if you're watching us. You got the solid stick. You got spray deodorant. There's cream. There's wipes. There's stick. Baking soda free, paraben free, and clinically proven to control odor. You want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now? You're flying from Chicago to Atlanta to Daytona? Well, you better. You can find them in Walmart, Target, other retailers, but we've got your back or your front or your bottom, as a matter of fact. For the best deals, I want you to go to shopmando.com. We want you to use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, 20% off. That's shopmando.com. Support the show. Tell them we sent you, and use the code KLIQ. Get your 20% off. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. That's my jam. Deodorant plus sweat control. All right, say goodbye to sweat stains. Hello to long-lasting freshmen. Shopmando.com. Thank you. Oh, Kev, I applaud your veracity to get out there, see the fans.
And they're so bad. It's just that, like I said, man, they've been so cool. You know, it's just nice to just go out and just chill with people that actually like you.
Yeah.
You know, they went out of their way to see you that day, and they're not behind a keyboard, so they do want to say something they can, but most of them are just kind enough to say, you know, enjoyed your shit. Or a lot of we get a lot of love from people that say, everybody that listens to the podcast always says that like their last thing. And I love the podcast.
That's
but
great.
I'm actually,
and they're usually WWE writers, aren't they?
No, but I tell you what, I know what our demographic is, and I meet a lot of people that's not in our demographic, age-wise, that listen to us.
Younger.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Older, they'd be dead.
Yeah.
Everybody in my aunt's assisted living is hooked on.
It's
Kliq
tuned
This.
in. Good.
Yeah, they sit around. They bet their fucking. Instead of bingo, they bet their chips on how many fucks we'll have during the show. So
what's the over under, Walt? But
237.
Some folks were listening, watching last week, and have voiced their opinions. Pinball Wizard says, 100% agree with you guys on the LA Night ambulance spot. Was watching that with my family and told my kids it was vintage Attitude Era. You know, it feels like always on the heels of something like that, Kev, when we say, God, and then you tune in the next week, and I felt like I was in a kind of a vortex, a black hole of progress this week.
I mean, so for me, it was last night. I finally got a chance to watch the show because I had a little medical issue and I had to go see the doctors. Plus, I had my 6-month skin check, and I mean, I don't know if it'll show on this thing, but this side, no, this side, this side. Yeah, like right there, she burned something off me that was precancerous. So I got that going for me.
Every 6 months, huh?
Yeah. But see, I'm in the sun all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, not because I'm in the sun all the time. It's just like, fuck. You know, you go out and fuck with a dog for 20 minutes. And it's, you know, it's 90 degrees and the index is 11. So it's like, and right now I'm on an antibiotic, and tomorrow I'm hoping that maybe it'll just rain tomorrow, but I would like to get some fucking color because, I mean, I went from.
You gonna gig?
No, I went from the UK in mid-February to home for 4 days with a high of 63 to Detroit to Chicago back home, and then today it fucking rained all day. So it's like,
It's Florida. You're gonna deal with the rain, and then you get the sun 5 minutes later.
oh, everybody's. There's not a sea grape that made it through this chill. So all you see is dead sea grapes everywhere. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's just.
What is a sea grape?
That obnoxious. I think it's one of the most obnoxious fucking. They're big ass. They're like trees, but they're. I don't know. I don't know if they're considered trees. They might just be a giant fucking. It's a tree because the guy in front of me is huge, so it's a sea grape's a tree.
Okay.
They
Epidemic.
have
The sea grapes are dying in Florida.
Yeah, but they have like a fan-shaped leaf that's about that fucking big. So those things are falling everywhere. So now you just go down the street and you see people have basically cut their sea grapes down like to nothing. So there's piles of that shit. They went through. We had bougainvilleas.
I don't know. Are you a landscaper on the side? What's
that?
Know what you're referencing. I said, are you a landscaper on the side? What was that last one?
No,
you pulled out?
Fuck. My wife is like she's always had a garden, or I mean, she's always done our landscaping. Like she's got one of those looks touches. You know, like our house was just starting to get that before the war Vietnam feel, as far as just not being able to see it into our pool, and fuck now, man, it's back to Beverly Hillbillies.
But this was all the sea grapes came out of a Raw discussion. You were saying that you got to catch Raw last night.
Yeah.
What you were starting to say.
So I mean, it got to where why it took me this long to watch it. So I watched it last night, and it was weird because, you know, like they never really, like they come out of the, you know, they're open and do usually like kind of a Raw open, where somebody's music hits, and it was Pierce, so it was kind of a dead open. Well, he's not going to get a response. Because he's actually kind of a tweener. You know, like he's kind of got heat, but he's kind of, I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be the Dana White of Raw. So
Perhaps.
he called
shades of
Seth Rollins down
Yes, he did.
because and this reasoning, because you're not cleared. You're not medically cleared. Like that in pro wrestling alone just doesn't. This is like an oxymoron. I'm pretty sure I tore my quad when I wasn't medically cleared for my bicep. It's not really out of the realm of shit we do. And then all of a sudden, man, it was the Thomas Crown affair.
Oh, we see the masked men swarm the ring, right? They do that shot from further back, so you can see how many. You see a couple coming in. They do the cut to the wide from above, and you can kind of see. So I'm like, holy shit, this something going down here. Then they did a line dance or something.
I felt more. It was kind of more of a jazz improv.
It was a little jazzy. First, I thought it was like a lemur's mating dance they were all doing, but then I was like, no, there's some syncopation there's some choreography happening here. What the hell did I watch as the open to the flagship show the other night?
Out of that, they separated in one, and it's always the same. When the guy that's making like the millions of dollars. Like when he's separated from the rest of the group, it's so obvious that this is the guy. The rest of the guys, they probably picked him off the street. Hey, you get up, wake up, come on, get in the back of the van. You're gonna run around with a hoodie on. But so Seth, shows himself. And then they have their dialogue over the fact that he's not medically cleared, which, but before he could get out the specifics, Vision's on their way, all two of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, they keep saying Vision. It's
Vision, but
ceases
it's like,
to be the Vision.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we only got two players. You can only pick two fields. You pick center and right or center and left. If you hit it in left, it's an automatic out. So,
Kevin, don't you think at this point, if you're in creative, you have to abandon your vision plans right now for the next few months? Like, why are we struggling to call? You can put Austin in Bronson's vest all you want. It's not the Vision. It doesn't have the effect. The Vision was the crew. This is I kind of feel like, when they say Foreigner on the road, and it's only the keyboardist,
right,
who was in Foreigner.
I think that they can get over, but man, like right now would be a nice time to put a piece with them. Just somebody that gets into a situation where that person has their back, but he's of stature. Where
that's the thing. It would have to be
somebody that can
significant.
Yeah, because it was like Bronson was really like both Rick Steiner, Bronson, they call him Breaker. So the young Steiner and Bronson Reed Bronson Reed really got a win over fucking oh God, what's it? The tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Roman, yeah. But now, so I get what you're saying. So put someone in there, make it. But the music hits, and L.A. Knight.
Well, first they came down and they laid the wood to fucking.
Yeah. But as the exclamation mark, L.A. Knight's music hits.
Yeah, he comes down. They lay wood on him. They cut him off. He does cut off Logan. Like, he does a good job coming to the ring. And you can tell that LA Knight is like, someone's got in his ear and says, "Hey, we're going to start to use you," because he looked like he was in better shape.
Fit.
Yeah, I mean, he always looks good, but it's just, you can just tell, man. It's just like, he was definitely on his game, and he got cut off, and then the Usos came down, and then they got out of it. It was just like, wow, that's a lot of moving pieces in that first. What exactly was accomplished with Seth?
I don't know, and that was the thing. And once they started doing the line dance,
but is it?
Lost everything.
I say this. I say because of our age, and because of the way we view pro wrestling, that we are expecting a storyline to be moved forward.
Yes.
And that's not what they do anymore.
But else, why watch anything? Why watch episode 7 of
because
Yellow
you're watching
Jackets
it,
or whatever?
But it's not Yellow Jackets. It's pro wrestling. And it's
when it's
clips.
convenient, they say the longest running episodic television. So if we're episodic television,
I'm just talking about who watches.
we have
it.
some expectation.
We do.
Yeah.
But we're not the demographic.
Yeah, but don't you? When I was 10, Kevin,
dude, we're not the demographic.
When I was 10, I may not have known what it was called, but I knew that I wanted to watch. When the hell was I 10?
Gay
82. No, that was at your doctor's office today. No, I was when I was watching 80s wrestling when I was 12, 13, whatever, I knew I had to watch next week because I was going to get an answer to something, to whatever happened with Snuka and Piper, to hear Hogan's response to Andre's
but it mattered
challenge.
Then.
How can it not matter now?
Because
they just want to sing the opens. They just want to sing the opening songs. They want to do the whatever. They want to watch line dancing. And the main event was a promo. This week.
I would have to say that the Kraken Arena wasn't exactly cracking at the end of the night.
No, it was quiet.
Yeah, it was
you'd expect.
And I think Seattle's always been kind of a hard place to work. But I don't know, because back in the day we used to go to the Tacoma Dome. So Tacoma and Seattle are completely different.
I do want to say this though, in regards to the
20 miles.
The main event promo. I did kind of like, Kevin, the fact that, you see, I half expected another schmoz when Punk got hit. There's no time limit on Raw anymore, so you don't know, like, okay, they're going to go off now, so they're going to leave us hanging. So I thought, okay, we're going to get more of the same here, but they didn't. It was...
No, because it would have turned out... The Usos did the right thing. So they went down, and he wouldn't apologize, and they dropped him.
And that was all we need. That was all we needed. I liked that.
But
that
was because they're baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept them babyface, and so that alone. See, that's when you abide by the rules. Where baby faces are baby faces, they're not supposed to fucking hit you with a closed hand. I think he hit him with a microphone. I don't know, but yeah. So, I just think those are the things that just like, wow, like, because it's more of, it took that much to get him to hit him. He was really that upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where they're going with Phil. Like, Phil could have like he could have separated the two. He could have said, I apologize for what I said about your uncle. That's out of line. Do you accept my apology? Fine. Then I still have to say this about
Roman.
Then go back to Roman.
Right.
I just thought that fucking makes Phil like he's disrespectful. They're saying just show us some respect, man. Show our uncle some respect. And then, Phil goes into the Allentown, was just happy to be in the back. Like,
right.
All of a sudden, it's like, well, it doesn't matter what you did and what you didn't do, You could make reference to a chicken, fried chicken establishment and lose all that good Allentown credit. So
right.
You got to watch about the respect situation.
Correct.
So
Correct. Mike M. was listening last week or watching. He said Kevin is on to something when he's comparing Danhausen to 1960s Batman. He's got me thinking. Will they show Danhausen in a fight backstage or in the ring throwing punches? They should include the pow bam along with the sound effects. They should go all in.
It would be classic. I felt a 66 vibe when all the hooded guys were out there.
I was going to say, that was a very...
Yeah.
When Batman would get those random opponents each week, it wouldn't always be the Riddler.
Well, it was but it was always those that crew of guys that had like the bowlers on or something. They always have to. These are perfect, the all black hooded,
Yes.
So
Danhausen getting a lot of love. Quagzo said, "Can't believe I disliked this guy growing up. Grateful he has given us the chance to get to know him. The world would be a better place if we had more people like him." I didn't know if he was talking about you or Danhausen.
No, Danhausen.
Okay. Tommy Damon said, "I still, after all this time, love you all's intro. The part with the adult discussion always cracks me up." A lot of adult discussion on this show. Paul King, do we still think that WrestleMania will still go to Saudi considering the current events unfolding in the Middle East? Very good question, Paul. Not if it was next week.
Well, no, I'm saying so let's just go on Afghanistan and say no. Until we get 800 pounds of enriched uranium out of that country's possession, because they still have that, and that's enough to make 8 or 9 or 10 nuclear weapons, and they definitely have the capability. We know they've got shit underground. There's places where they can put this shit together. So,
right. Maldek, Kevin Nash, seriously, dude, the opening showed you driving a Mustang. I believe that's what it was. It was a sports car. You tell me that your 7-foot-tall ass could get in that car, in that kind of car. I saw the clips on TV back in the day of Andre the Giant trying to get in the car half that size on WWF television. I'm not buying that.
All right, number one, I'm 6'10". Number two, Andre was 500 pounds. I weigh 280. So, yeah, I've been driving a Mustang since I was...
you've had Mustangs since...
since I was driving a car. 16 years old, I drove my mom's Mustang. So...
Yeah, Maldek, you got to listen and watch more. We talked
Plus,
about we talked about his old Mustang. We talked about the new Mustang.
But the newer ones are even a little bit lower. So any car that's low and has basically an unusable back seat, the chair trail will go all the way back, and then it'll go a long ways back, and then from there you just adjust the seat until the back seat stops it. So you put it back until the back seat stops it, and then, man, it's like a cockpit. Now it's like me and my wife. Shit, man, we've driven 6-7 hours in that thing. It's cool.
Yeah. All right.
It's got good tunes, good pickup. I mean, on the highway, it gets about 26.
Yeah, Maldek, it's real.
Yeah, I drive that bitch. I also piss in it.
Yeah.
Also,
Rip the seats out and everything. Toss the
urinal.
seats completely.
That's how I made room for it. I had to rip the seats out. And the
Kliq This
transmission.
KliqThisTV.com is where you go to become part of the 11 Soft Club. What are they? They were here with us. They're in the room as we tape. They're in the pre-show meeting before we go on the air and we do our warm-up. We do the questions at the end to get to Nash. Ace Ramon, part of the 11 Soft Club here from KliqThisTV.com, says, I like Danhausen, but my wife hates him. That's funny, Ace, that you said that, because there was a comment on YouTube, I think, where someone said, my wife never watches wrestling. Since I had it on and she saw Danhausen's entrance, she's watching now. So there's something for everyone, even the wives. Sometimes it's wrestling, sometimes it isn't.
You know, on Monday's show, he's definitely stuck out.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a fun novelty. I don't know if it has legs. I don't want to hurt Wesley's feelings. I don't know if it has legs, but it's definitely a fun novelty, and people are enjoying the pet rock aspect of it today. We'll see. See if they can do something with it.
Well, he did curse the El Grande, so.
Right. You are cursed.
A
lot of people commented that too, Kev, telling you that you were cursed.
I believe that El Pinto is still the Intercontinental Champion, so.
KliqThisShop.com is where you can get your merch as well. You know, a funny thing I saw, Kev, was, you know, the fallout. Epstein's kind of falling from the news a little with this conflict in Iran. And what terror do we have in the country today? We had we had a shooting at Old Dominion. We had someone drove a vehicle
Well, it was
into
an attack. Yeah.
Yeah, north of Detroit. Was it north?
Yes.
And details are still emerging about all that. But in regards to the Epstein, I saw a piece today. They unearthed some emails that Fergie.
I saw that today. And this was after.
Yes.
He was house arrest prison cat.
Correct. This was after. It was 2008. Was the conviction in Florida for, I think it was soliciting prostitution from minor. So after that, she's writing, just lathering him with, my dear, spectacular, and special friend Jeffrey. You are a legend, and I am so proud of you. Begins one of these emails sent in 2009.
Wasn't one of the precursors to this story though that she was several £100,000 in debt on her rent? Yeah.
Yes. So this has a financial angle to it.
Yeah, you know it does.
But
that fucking money, I tell you what, you take that out of the world, take all the problems right out with it.
Yeah, it's just, I really wonder how deep it goes here. But you see how England handled the Prince Andrew thing, right? After this.
Well, I mean, it almost felt adult-like.
It almost felt, handling it like a grown-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, stripping him and saying this is not how we behave.
And they're being like actual, and they're not done with it. It's just they're opening. Volley is basically, you're gonna be totally disrespected and disowned.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she was. I think it was. I got it here.
You got to realize too, man.
Pounds.
Yeah, and this
for the rent.
I don't think that like there's people that don't follow the Monarch. Like my wife follows the Monarch, so I get all like that really smart Monarch knowledge of the significance of this person and this person, the Duke, and where they came from and all that. It's just like this is. high up in my, like the king's brother, pretty strong, you know, the
Yeah.
King of England's brother, and it's just like, and man, it doesn't matter who it is. Could you imagine if this was one of Trump's kids? Do you think that they would do this to him?
I don't.
No.
In 2010,
I don't think they would. I don't think they would do it to. And I'm not just picking Trump. I don't think any administration would go after anybody else like one of their siblings to this degree.
Mm-hmm.
Even them going after Hunter Biden, it didn't go anywhere.
In 2010, she asked him for financial help. Is there any chance I could borrow $50,000 or $100,000 to help get through the small bills that she had? Small bills.
What are those? The ones on like one page, as opposed to those like 3-page bills?
I don't know. She also asked at one point to become his house assistant, right? Is that?
I heard masseuse, but then again, I get a whole National Enquirer version of that thing. So
May 16th, 2010. But why? I don't understand. Did you just get me to be your house assistant? I am the most capable and desperately need the money. Please, Jeffrey, think about it. Good Lord. All right. More to come from the Epstein files, no doubt.
I'm sure that she's not complicit anyway.
I don't know if it's complicit, but it's odd what we will excuse for personal gain.
Number one, we know for a fact that he's in the penal system. We know what his charges are.
Yeah, and did back then.
Right. I'm just saying. I don't see how that they're I don't know.
This is
I'm just dumbfounded by a lot of things.
Yeah. Well,
I think the fact that just this whole, we just need to let this go, and I'm just thinking, number one, there should never be a statute of limitation on pedophiles. Anything with pedophilia, there should be no statutes.
Didn't they change that though, Kev? Hadn't that been changed? I feel like it has. I feel like I heard that.
Yeah, but it's always when it's retro like that. Does that fall in the pocket? And
I don't know.
You know, it's just always something that can be appealed.
It gets much harder to
we all
prove,
know the
of course,
game,
as
man.
time gets behind you.
Once you have a justice system that's basically, if you have enough coin, you can definitely buffer the situation to a very great degree. And if you don't, man, that's why these private prisons are such, they're great investments. I wouldn't do it. I don't want blood money.
No, of course. Absolutely. Kev, I do not know how to transition into what is on my screen now, which is a Blue Chew ad from the news we're covering. So you're going to have to throw me another story because I'm not going into it now. Not many things knock me off track. But
Sean.
How about the gauntlet match?
No, Sean, when things go this bad, sometimes the only thing you wait for is what pops up.
Right.
Speaking of popping up.
So let's remind everyone that Blue Chew Gold. Blue Chew Gold. It's the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This is not the old school little blue pill we're talking about. This is the 4-in-1 beast. That she does not come in the envelope, which you're looking at right there, but your Blue Chew does. They're setting the gold standard for performance, okay? We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep the rocket pumping, okay? Mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection between your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold now dissolves under your tongue, and now it's in as little as 15 minutes. You don't have to wait the half hour or 45 minutes that you had to before. It means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. It's elevation without the hesitation. Peak passion, peak performance in a single tablet. Full ignition, by the way, in 15 minutes or less. And we've got a special deal for our listeners, 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with the code NASH. That's promo code NASH. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring, for staying long and strong with the Kliq This squad. Thank you, Blue Chew. Kev, how about a little Dear Sexy? It's been a minute since you've given advice to those that already got advice from Dear Abby, but this is actual letters from the Dear Abby archives. But what if Kevin Nash was poised to give advice? First letter, Dear Sexy. My boyfriend Wade and I were expecting our first child and couldn't wait to tell the news to our family and friends. But my boyfriend can't keep a secret, and before we told our parents, he told his best friend and his wife. Wade told them not to tell anyone since we still hadn't reached the 12-week mark. A month later, I found out they told Wade's ex-girlfriend I was pregnant. I was extremely upset because it wasn't their business to tell, especially to Wade's ex. Doesn't sit right with me that his ex found out I was pregnant before even my parents did. When Wade confronted them, they denied it, saying their ex already knew, but my sister-in-law confirmed that the ex also reached out to her and asked if we were expecting because the best friend's wife had told her. I felt betrayed. Wade cut that couple off and uninvited them to the gender reveal / baby shower, which upset them. I tried to be the peacemaker and messaged the couple asking if we could meet up to clear up misunderstandings and told them their friendship means a lot to us. They didn't respond. I left it at that and haven't reached out again. It's been 6 months. Did I overreact and destroy a friendship just because of my pregnancy hormones? That's from Brand New Mom in Missouri.
God, I mean, I couldn't even imagine if that was my life. Like, that's my problem in my life.
That someone found out that your wife was pregnant.
Pregnant, like, what? That almost feels like it's 1950. I was waiting for him to say it was going to be a football player that was gay and wanted to come out. I was just saying, 81? God, what do you do? I mean, you've got.
Is it enough to lose a friendship over?
Well, no, it's like you either got to cut ties. It's like if it's that big of a deal, they'll never interact with them and not go to their separate corners. And she was the one that ran her mouth.
It seems like a very young problem. This is probably a young bride, young mom.
Yeah.
Maybe got plowed in the back seat at the drive-in, and
the mom,
his ex-girlfriend. The ex-girlfriend knows. It's all very, very senior year.
Yeah, the ex. When is the ex-girlfriend still in the picture? When you're like.
When you see her in biology class the next day.
Yeah, but I'm saying, though, I mean, you're pregnant, so it's like, I don't know. Obviously, the guy's not going anywhere. So
let's move to one that maybe you'd be a little more excited to delve into. Dear Sexy, I work in an office with a man who has expressed an interest in me in various subtle and not so subtle ways, including winks. I have also caught him staring at me with intense longing. We communicate well, and he has told me I have influenced him. We are both disciplined, determined, and accomplished men. I envy him for his easy smile, his self-confidence, and his effortless universal appeal. This man is married with grown children. I'm a widower, 21 years his senior. I'm prepared to say to him, you are spoken for, and I'm not a homewrecker. Thank God. If you're ever single again, you and I should have a serious conversation, but unless that day comes, much will remain unsaid. End quote. I suspect the two of us would have a good life together. I do not believe I am misreading his intent. Have you any advice for me? That's from Interested in Washington.
Yeah, go on your first instinct. Don't
Meaning
get
don't.
Yeah,
don't
get involved. Because the guy's
21 years is junior as well, so it's I mean, how serious is it going to be?
This guy's 20. Yeah, this is some chicken hawk.
Well, the one making the advances, yeah, is 21 years younger.
No, I thought he was 21 years older.
Hold on 1 second.
The guy that's single's 21 years older, I thought.
I'm a widower, 21 years his senior. So the writer is 21 years older. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy's, that's fucking weird right there.
But Kev, it should be noted, and you should be reminded that he does envy him for his easy smile, his self-confidence, and his effortless universal appeal. Not that this guy's attracted to the younger man at all, but when's the last time you told someone that you admired them for their easy smile, their self-confidence, and their effortless universal appeal?
Thank God it was yesterday.
God. Oh, God. We don't get enough fucking mileage out of that one.
No.
It's just too much car. Was that it? Was that the deal?
A while since I've driven. You didn't see that car? No. The one you fucking ran off the road. You hit right in the back end going 100. No. Never saw it.
All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. And what's on my mind right now is how much we pay for jeans. Everything's going up, Kev. The price of everything's going up these days. You see it in the news and everything. Our clothing, for God's sakes, we should still be able to get fashionable, decent, comfortable clothing at a reasonable price. And thank God the perfect jean has come into our lives. I love my two pairs of perfect jean. I have a black, and then I have that's the second one from the left there. I think they call it the Joker. They did when I ordered a Joker color or something like that. It's a lighter blue. The stretch is amazing. The comfort's amazing. But outside of that market, you could be paying $200 for jeans. The perfect jean, a great value at $79.99. Okay. I will tell you that, and you see the stretch there. You can see the young lady pulling on the jean. That's no joke. But they are jeans. They're denim. But they're so comfortable. They're made from the softest denim blend. So when you want to be a couch potato, they'll work curled up watching the game, watching Bam drop his 100. Or, you want to dress them up a little bit. They work like your best damn denim basics that you're used to. All right. Impress anybody that sees you in your perfect jean. Okay. They are the unofficial uniform for men who've already accepted that their New Year's resolutions died by January 17th, but still want to upgrade their style. All right. They've redefined what jeans can be. Just soft, confidence-boosting, stretchy perfection. And 6 fits from skinny to thick, waists 26 to 52, lengths from 26 to 38. That's over 5,000 ways to find your perfect fit. All right. do not hesitate to go to, because we've got a deal for you. As always, over 500,000 men agree already that the Perfect Jean is the best premium essential. You never have to sacrifice comfort, settle. Never have to sacrifice comfort for style or settle for a size that doesn't fit you perfectly. Go check these out. Just go to the website, put together your fit, see how easy and fun it is. Our listeners are getting 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc. Theperfectjean.nyc, or you can Google The Perfect Jean. Just use that code KLIQ15, KLIQ 15 for 15% off. Thank you, Perfect Jean. Love it. Love my Perfect Jeans.
Boom.
JCW Lunacy. New episodes every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. For over 25 years, JCW has delivered the very best in pro wrestling entertainment, bringing fans deep storytelling drama, gut-busting comedy, and unbelievable in-ring action. From wild characters to unforgettable rivalries, don't miss a single moment. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. JCW Lunacy.
And if you join the 11 Soft Club by going to KliqThisTV.com, you get to ask questions to the live audience. Like
I saw a comment
Go ahead.
the other day, and he says that if you joined the 11 Soft Club, you become a member.
You see, all these months of having the 11 Soft Club, and I didn't even think to go there. Brilliant.
Yes, this guy said.
I feel like I should do another BLUECHEW read.
Become a member. So, boom.
Love it. Like Stars on Sports has. He says, why do you think we're seeing so many Achilles injuries in today's NBA compared to past eras like the 80s and 90s? Is it the pace of the game, year-round training, or something else?
I mean, I don't know, because, I mean, there's been a rash in, like, the last 5 years. But, like, Halliburton, Tatum went down. Like, there were some majors last year. I can't believe Tatum's already up. And, I think he's played the last 3 games for Boston. And well,
generally, what's the recovery on an Achilles?
Oh, man, I would say 10, 14-ish.
Mm.
And I think Tatum's back in like 8.
Do you ever get the mobility that you had before? Is it a 100% recovery?
Man, it's the sports, man. Now the sports medicine is so
advanced.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you're saying?
Yeah, like that shit that Colby and Nowitzki had done over in Germany. All that shit when they got injured, they were both supposed to be out, and they both continued to play. Some hocus pocus shit they do over in Germany. Like, there's just so much shit now, and if we could get the Food and Drug Administration to get the fuck off shit like that and let us let us heal, man.
I saw something, Kev. I thought of you that it looks like they're going to ease restrictions or yes, on some of the peptides. I don't know which ones, but they mentioned
they'll wait and see what's really, really sells, and then they'll banish those ones.
What sells well,
yeah.
And they'll flush those.
Yeah. That 157.
No Wolverine for everybody?
Yeah, that 157-400 combo, that seems to work for everyone. Let's make that one illegal. I don't know, there's this copper one that kind of seems like it grows hair back. Get rid of it.
I was going to say, I'm using a topical copper peptide. I feel like my hair is thicker.
Imagine if you shot it in your scalp.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I put it on my face. But I don't know if the topical versus the they have, what do you call those little micro needles? They do that too, so that it gets subcutaneous, I believe is the word.
Yeah, they showed a whole breakdown of how it kind of basically reactivates the follicles.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Follicles.
see.
Yeah.
I'm smearing it all over my face. I'm hoping I can just grow and just do a Teen Wolf kind
Yeah,
of
exactly. Teen Wolf, but not the Michael J. Fox.
Right. I used to get Michael J. Fox comparisons when I was younger. Now, as I get older, I just get the Robert Downey Jr. comparisons. I'm just.
I get
for
the
all
guy.
all
I get the
trouble
guy. I
actors.
always get the guy from. Are you the guy from Metallica? Yeah, all these years, man. I bet you had no idea I was this tall.
Yeah, you standing next to Lars would have been kind of funny. Hey, Britt, Uncle Kev, why are they picking on our girl Jade? Her confidence seems to intimidate the girls.
She's just like. I think the biggest thing is I think people started following her on our social media, and they saw who her husband was, and they see how she lives, like without wrestling, and like she's just here for a minute, so it's just like I think there's heat there. You know,
people are just fucked up, man.
Plus, I mean, there's just like the first time I saw that girl, when I saw her in person, I was just like, holy fuck. Because she's much bigger than you think she's going to be. She's like 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah. Her
right.
her girls team, I think she went to Jacksonville. I think they just won the first round in the women's tournament.
Oh, it's March. We're going to be talking about that soon, aren't we? Shit.
I want to bring in a friend of mine, the guy that I do the every year we do brackets together.
Okay.
He's my buddy John. I think I want to bring him in because you're not going to be able to. You don't follow college basketball.
I do not all year, but I get into the tournament.
Yeah, but you can't sit and have a conversation about Winthrop.
No.
Right. And
No, but if I'm putting money on a bracket,
yeah,
I'm going to do some research.
So we got to have like somebody I'm going to go back and forth with to make the choices.
Well, you can answer this from Mark DZ. Who are you leaning towards with the March Madness coming up? Any sleepers?
I'll tell you what, man. This is my sleeper. It's a big sleeper too, but Iowa State would be my sleeper team. I just watched them play Arizona State the other night, and I mean, fucking. I want to think they were up like 60-23 or something. They just shut them down. And they've been playing D all year, so I would say maybe Iowa State. Is this one?
When
of my
does the
sleepers?
seeding come out usually?
Right now we're in the like the AC, like it's all league tournaments, and a lot of those, like the SEC, whoever wins the SEC tournament gets the SEC seed.
But it'll be but the whole bracket will be. Later. Okay, what do we? Oh, Iowa State. You could make some money if you put some cash on that.
I know.
Well done. It's a plus 220. 2,200. Excuse me.
Yeah, see, they lost to three out of 4 ranked teams at the end of the season, but I think that, and I mean, I know that Arizona State's shitty, but they were. Go the other way. Let me see who's UConn, Houston. So I mean, when you look at it, what do they got? What do they haven't picked at 6, 7? There's the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they're 8th. So that's I would pick that as a sleeper.
All right, very good. Another question.
I would not want to play Michigan when they're on. But Florida's got some big ass white boys. Florida plays big.
Okay. Pip the Cook says, do you miss wrestling at times?
I mean, there's always going to be just, no, I don't.
I'll tell you what you miss. I'll answer it for you.
I seriously, when I sit here and I think about it, that was a part of my life and it's gone.
But you don't miss the boys?
I talk to the boys that I'm friends with.
You're getting to see them, getting to kick creative ideas around.
Oh.
Not necessarily going to the ring, but well, I know you miss the road.
No, I don't miss. That's the whole thing. When you still grinding, I saw a thing the other day. It was somebody had talked to Clint Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it might have been even Morgan Freeman, but it was it was another actor that was older in age, but not as old as Eastwood. And they asked him how do you stay young? How do you stay vibrant? How do you stay? He says, you just don't let the old man in. And that's what Eastwood says. You just don't let that old man in. So that's Clint.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Spider Drummer. Any stories about the late, great Luna Vachon?
Gosh, she was insane. She was crazy. Me and her, we were in Tel Aviv, and we went to this bar that had been blown out, and it had like a couple of parachute things in the back over this part where somebody had set a bomb off or some shit. And she gave me some pill that she got from one of her friends. It was a cancer patient. And I guess because I was
recreational chemo? What are you doing?
No, I just remember them like picking me up. I was like, whatever it was, it knocked me unconscious. They said that I had fallen asleep on this platform facing this wall of giant speakers.
The speakers. This is speaker story.
And I mean, I'm just fucking laying. Lucky the fucking vibrations didn't stop my heart. Just at least put me in AFib, right? Like, fuck. So there's there. You want a Luna story? There you
go. Britt, please ask Uncle Kev's opinion on Road Dogg leaving.
I don't know the specifics on that yet. I'm just trying to get to know the person I share my home with.
After being away for
Jesus, man,
18 of 22.
And then she had to get her nails done today, and I was at the doctor for 3 days, and I'm just like, jeez.
When do you get on a plane again?
Saturday morning.
Back Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday midnight.
Okay.
I couldn't.
All right, Steve.
That's. Man, please, God, let it just be. Let it be like that. I was so smooth to London. And I got that direct on the way home. It was just like that. I wasn't supposed. I was supposed to be on a 3-stop, and I got a direct. I was just like. And I want to say this, man, as shitty as the situation was, and under the circumstances of how bad the weather was, the damage to the vehicles and everything else, Delta was, man, they were spot the fuck on. I mean, they couldn't have done anything more wrong. But my connection being canceled was due to not having the aircraft. There not being a first class seat is because when that. If there was anything that was open, I was in the air and couldn't grab it because that's. I remember we were in line to get our seats and to go to Orlando, and we're going on an F1 which is, that's the international. So we're going out of F1. I think because the plane is so big is why they have to use F1, because it's an international service. I think it's at 787 or whatever the fuck that big. It's the biggest plane I've ever been on. I didn't even. Well, then again, I never. Not to be a dick, but I really don't wander past the first 8 seats. So I really don't know what goes on back there. But my seat was right next to where they boarded us, and I got right in my seat. And then when she opened it, there was a little niche that they had my backpack. She just handed me. She says, "Have a good day, Mr. Nash." They couldn't have been nicer to me if they wanted to. I was just like,
all right. Well, listen, they deserve, for all the
I give them
other
shit all
types
the
of
time.
stories we do, they deserve a shout out then.
Yeah. So Delta, thanks for losing my bag, but thanks for having a guy. Thanks for losing my bag on top of everything else, but thanks for having a guy drop it off next to the pool door in front of my house. So.
Oh, all right. See, now that's redemptive. They did that.
And I also, because they put me in coach, I got a $483 difference of fee.
Oh,
the only problem is the promoter bought the fucking ticket, so he got the fucking cash.
Oh, he got the discount.
But don't think he didn't get an email.
Oh, come on.
I hit him with it. I said, just, hey, want to give you a heads up. I forwarded the Delta email to me that they were getting their money back. I mean, I'm working for him this weekend,
Okay.
But maybe, save you $483. I'm thinking maybe you throw $200 back my way.
Exactly.
Can't hurt to ask.
All right, wrap me up.
Put it this
Steve.
way.
Send me
Put
somebody
it this
else.
way, though. You definitely ain't going to get nothing if you don't ask. So
That's true. You're 100%. There's a 100% guarantee that you won't get it if you don't ask.
if you don't ask.
And your odds are infinitely better if you do.
Yes.
For sure. All right, a wrestling historian, Mr. Nash, on the March 29th, 1999 episode of Nitro, he remembers it well. Bret Hart wore a steel plate under his Toronto Maple Leafs jersey when Goldberg speared him. Were they supposed to have a pay-per-view match sooner?
I remember all of that. I don't, it's so hard to remember what I was doing, let alone what somebody else was doing as far as their storyline wise. You just kind of, it's just kind of like what you just said. You remember, especially that was so specific because it stopped Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clever.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast E, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Producer Steve Kaufman, who I envy for his easy smile, his self-confidence, and his effortless universal appeal. Graphics by Dominic D'Angelo. Same.
It's a shame you're 21 years older than him.
Yeah, I am. It's out of my league. But you know what? He's been very aggressive with the winks lately. I don't know if you caught that.
Son of a bitch.
Title sequence and audio edits by Wesley Burleson. Theme song by Dale Oliver. No relation. Technical research by Tristan Nash. Copyright 2026. Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, we're not cursed, so I'm going to ask you if you want to do another one.
I'm on the road. Got to come back and talk about it.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. the customer service never